Hello, guys. Welcome back to my channel and my live streaming 15th edition. Let's have a little chat today, a short, cozy chat. I'm not my best self today, but that's okay. That's the whole point about doing live streaming. I'm not AI, so I can be 100% always 100% on myself, being the perfect me, talking about the perfect thing. But I do have a lot I want to share. I'll talk as much as I can. So today's episode, I have some ideas based on one of the audience was asking me about my artistic journey, and I struggle to call myself artist. I always struggle to call myself artist because I do have a clear definition of who entitled artist. Before, like when I was in China, my mom is a calligraphy artist. I mean, since I was born, for me, she's quite artistic person, and she somehow made money with her calligraphy art, and it's based on practice because in China, artisan, it's always on practice. So you need to have precision and dedicate your time into some kind of skill. And over time, that becomes your artistic practice. That's called artist. And over the years, like I mentioned before, I do love making film. That's how I started to create things. I do love creative moments and I do love to make stuff with my vision. And I do have visual in my mind when I want to express an idea. So that being said, I also think I have the entrepreneur spirit because I do want to bring things together. I do have a vision for what kind of project I want to make. So I start to think about how to make this episode more talk about the integration of art and technology and what is the missing piece in the tech creativity. The creativity in tech has been a big topics recently. And another funny thing is I saw this news lately about how Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, is that how you call his name? The Amazon guy, Brian Johnson, they're all in the fashion show. Yeah. So they want to sit in the front row for some top brands like Prada or this new, the big fashion events. Because fashion is about identity, perception, emotion, context. So I started to dig like little deeper into in Chinese. There's different way to say the way how you carry yourself, the things that you do, shows the status of who you are, what kind of like why all these tech giants now want to be in the fashion week shows a lot about how society works at this moment. And first of all, is embodied your taste, habits, how you carry yourself. Of course, now we know the taste itself is no longer just about the elite's taste. It's changing, but it still belongs to one of the, how you carry yourself says a lot about your status, who you are. And then this objectified, the art, the fashion, the things you own. A while ago, when you think about all these tech people, you will not connect them with fashion. There's no way you can connect with the fashion. It's almost like against it. Remember how Mark Zuckerberg was trying to be Steve Jobs and talk about he only have gray t-shirt, and I'm pretty sure that's how he wanted to show himself, almost like the way to present himself to the public, which is what we call the public taste, is his personal identity. But now, for people who have all the gray shirt in his closet, want to be in the fashion industry, to be on the top, to enter fashion show is kind of interesting because soon enough, very soon, Meta will start to have these AR glasses they are developing right now, and I don't think they're the only company that trying to develop AR glasses. Imagining glasses one of the fashion, right? If the AR glasses doesn't connect with fashion, then tech is so far away from this symbolized, institutionalized status. They just not gonna work in so many ways. So it seems like they will have to connect with better taste. So technology is making all these connections faster, all these embodied, objectified, institutionalized, all these things more connect more faster, more visible, and more interactive. That's what's in my mind when I see the fact that they're all jumping to the fashion show. And of course, this is a moment humans become more intentional about taste. I don't know if one day we can see so many layers of reality through our AR glasses. How could that change the way we interact, we create content? Because right now, I often see a lot of people talk about vibe coding and creating a lot of interactive. I saw one example of the girl showing like when she's crying with the words pop out, like a poem pop out from her eye. That with the vibe coding seems very easy, but the purpose of it just like being playful, of course. All these new tools that pop up right now is also pretty insane. I heard a lot of news about how the AI tools are so powerful. Some company doesn't even want to show it anymore. All that, whatever you can think of, but we're not gonna go there. I'm not going too far about the technology part. But before I go into this, like my personal story of styling, whatever, I want to show you one very interesting YouTube video I find. It's called, sorry, this is the ads. Tech bros are just failed artists. It's so interesting. I have to show you.
The most
Maybe from the 1 minute 20 second. Her point of view is very interesting. I like this YouTube content creator a lot. She do a lot of visual essays. And then here you go.
or with a color. The impulse that makes a person sit down at 2 a.m. to write a song that nobody asked for is the same impulse that makes a person whiteboard a product that does not exist yet. Both people are looking at a gap between the world as it is and the world as it could be, and deciding that they are the one to close it. This is not a tech thing, this is not an art thing, this is a human thing. And it predates both Silicon Valley. Steve Jobs understood this better than almost anyone in the tech industry. He did not talk about Apple the way a businessman talks about a company. He talked about it the way a director talks about a film. In his own world, he described the Mac of a work of art, insisting that people who built it were artists. He brought calligraphy into product design. He obsessed over font choices the way a novelist obsessed over word choices. Jobs were not performing creatively. He genuinely could not separate the act of making a product from the act of making art. He was not alone. When you look at the founders who actually changed culture, not just valuation, the pattern repeats. Ye and Virgil moved between music, fashion, product design, like there was no walls between them, because for people wired this way, There are no walls. One of the most influential musicians of the last 50 years spent decades advising tech companies on creative processes. The creative impulse does not check what industry it's walking into. Research backs this up too. A study from Michigan State University found that entrepreneurs and artists share remarkably similar brain profiles, specifically around divergent thinking, tolerance, and the drive to produce original work. The brain doing the building does not know if it's building a startup or a sculpture. This match.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting. So to sum up, what she's saying is she thinks that the brain or the intention behind artists and to create artwork, or behind a tech person to create an app, or you know a tool, is the same. It's similar brains wired for divergent thinking and the drive to create. Artists and founders actually start the same. I don't know what you think, but I do agree. That's all come from the curiosity. It's all come from the creative drive that you want to create something out of nowhere. That's But the something split is the artists expose themselves, and it's quite personal, using a lot of real emotion, and then the risk of being judged personally. When you think about artists, you think about their own emotion and how they want to create their work, deeply connected with their history, the background, the things that they make, and then the process of thinking. I personally have so many interesting artist friends. Each of them have this very unique perspective on things. Their very unique process of creating things, which is quite fascinating for me. Some artists I know always think philosophy, and even in a normal life they're living, it's just really fun to talk with them in so many ways, but they seems cannot figure out a lot of answer for life. So life itself become more like a process of living and process of exploring. So not too much about answering, seeking for the answer. It's always using art as a way to express themselves, to looking, and then this time becomes our process, if that makes sense. And the founders, or the tech builders, are often hide behind the system, the metrics and the strategy. And then the cost of creations. Art requires radical vulnerability, where the creator puts their inner world on display for direct personal judgment. Conversely, tech culture allows founders to build from being a well designed wall of metrics and business strategy, keeping their personal self protected. So but that at the same time, you can say this app or this company failed because the metrics and the strategy is wrong. It's nothing about this person. But when you think about if this artist failed, it's a lot about the personality. So the vulnerability that artists show to the world. But of course, the way to judge tech and art is also very different. But it's just really interesting to see how nowadays the combination, because of a lot of artists, even though they try to express themselves through technology, and then not a lot of tech person had to figure out how to jump into the art, fashion, creative world to find that missing piece to share their vulnerability. And yeah, that's what I find. It could be the missing piece of each other, and then eventually it will all come together. I don't know. What do you think? This episode, I know, is very abstract. I don't have answer for it. I just wanted to share my deep thought into this spiral dark hole I'm gonna get into myself. And I also, yeah, there's also things here. The escape or rejection for many moving into tech It's a defense mechanism against the fear of being personally rejected. In art, failure is a reflection of the self, but in tech, failure is often blamed on external factors like market timing or microenvironments. So all these things are think deep into it, it's quite interesting. Um, there's also an article I find. It's called Fashion and Tech Are Getting Back Together because of the AR glasses. Um, I leave this link here. You can take a look. It is particular talking about Meta. I'm of course I'm not a big fan of Meta at all. Like I'm not a big fan of all these tech giants because I don't know. Sometimes I feel like there is a missing piece in their mind because when tech started be getting super popular, mainstream basically, and then now they're all trying to connect it to the elite part to be more artistic, to connect with people more. But it has been this cold, disconnected for a very long time. So yeah, like when he's in the front row at Prada fashion show, the company announced it has signed a 10-year lease for the space, turning its holiday pop-up shop into a Fifth Avenue fixture. Don't you think he's always so lost? I don't know why he's there. But as you can see, as tech has become mainstream, it has realized it's integrating into pop culture. So because they were going to explore more into the tech industry with these AR glasses. I love AR glasses. I really want to try them in the future, but I feel like there is something that we need to figure out how to develop our own so-called taste to figuring out how to connect tech with art in a very modern, natural way. But there's still a gap right now in there. I still see a lot of people against AI and they try to escape this world, nonsense world, for so-called. A lot of people think, and but a lot of young people are jumping in now to find their own space. There will be a big, big space open. And I do hope a lot of people can find their own space because now is the best time to jump into as artists to find your creative voice, to jump into this tech lead world. That's why I'm here to observe and express in my own way. Maybe a lot of time it doesn't really make sense, but that's how I cope with it. And for example, I'm sure a lot of people watch this movie. What is fun about this is I realize, yeah, when I see the Rocky, that rock, as like adorable little creature, I already know that what they want to touch people's heart. What did they thinking that moment? Why they make movie like this is almost like using a little creature to connect with people, and I know they're gonna have a certain marketing strategy for people to connect with this character. And of course, on their website, if you can download the 3D model of Rocky. So a lot of people start making video of using this 3D model of Rocky. It's like such a simple 3D model, but it's not the prettiest thing. It's not the cutest, adorable thing. But because there's a story there, and you feel connected, now a lot of people start to do this. Very good, and then like repeating word amaze, amaze, amaze. Those kind of become meme. They're doing a really good job to connect like express the story of technology to connect with people, right? This is one of my, I don't know, like you almost can guess what the story is to be honest. It's not like that surprising. This is gonna be a hit, but it's a good when you're thinking about like what kind of when we have all the tools in front of us in the future with AI, what kind of stories we want to tell, what kind of tools, AI tools, and what kind of output creation we want to do. There's so much about connecting with people's heart with the things that you make. Let's see if I have any question. Not much question today. I'm gonna have a sip of water. Yeah, as you can see, I didn't really have any like thesis or like really concrete idea of the conclusion as I usually do, because I didn't really find this week have much news that amaze me. I started to feel a little bit like, okay, here's a new tool. This is a startup from AI. They're doing something crazy again. It's so dangerous, and then they're gonna they there's it's so dangerous they don't want to release the the tool. And then I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? Like, I start lose a little bit this desire to learning the new tool, because if a new tool is always pop up, like, what's the point of learning everything, right? I still need to figure out like the intention behind why we wanted to create, and that's the key. But I do explore a lot of, again, the AI styling app that I want to make a video upcoming week, to use AI to help me find based on the body shape they suggest me, and I'll go thrifting. So this is one fun project I'm gonna make next week. I hope I can find fun pieces based on the suggestion based on my like AI and analysis, and then I want to explore with different colors. This is like shop with intention, but based on technology. I also saw another person create a live try on. I'm still looking for a lot of like tools that you can, in perhaps in the future I can wear like digital fashion piece but looks real. When I do live streaming, I can keep switching some like futuristic look. That'll be really fun. But I wonder if we have AR glasses in the future for live streaming, what that can be. Then live streaming will become a different kind of format. Not sure how it will be, but keep open, curious, and think about all the things that could possibly happen. If you want to go towards artistic direction, I think, yeah, being vulnerable is one of them. Like, to show that you're open to fail, you're open to change. And yeah, of course, if you see a tool that really can help you to develop your idea and you wanted to keep, you know, is okay to fail, or you don't have to share with other people. You can use those tools or you can ignore them. It doesn't really matter. But if you want to go the tech direction, then you have to have certain ability to even to really talk about your idea, make into a concrete, almost like a TED talk, and then you have to pitch to people about your idea. So it's completely different kind of direction when you're working on different project. But this is what I have for this week. It's a short talk, and nobody's talking with me today. I don't know. Yes, last week there were so many people talking with me. That's okay. I try to make it even more raw about this live streaming. At this moment, I don't know if you have any questions about your work, like all the things that you've seen online, or like I saw so many people talk about different platforms about how they're using different tools to like analyzing other company using what kind of tool to create their work and then the workflow. I still have tons of questions about that, but I didn't really dig into it because I didn't really have time. Okay, about our project, we're still working on augmented reality exhibition for in Tokyo, and our idea is to have. Okay, I can show a little bit, not an image. I can show the proposal, but the idea is to have different color buttons in front of you, and once you're like represent your mood, and then when you press one of the button, the color, and then the sky box of this, the whole sky change colors with visual that align with the emotion, and then with the music that matches the emotion. I hope it's gonna be fun. The process of creating is fun, but I hope eventually this work gonna be interesting. And again, if this is all happening with AR glasses, then we don't even have to need we don't need this whole process of using phone to see the AR show up. Is more, I don't know how we're gonna do the AR creation, but it's gonna be really interesting. So if you have some idea about like having another layer of digital creation on top of, for example, you are a fashion designer and you want to design digital fashion on with AR glasses, that you can start practice with augmented reality on phone with Glow 3D or stuff like that. Anyway, I'm going a little too far. But anyway, um, this is about today's live streaming. I hope it's interesting enough. But in next week, I will come back with. I decide like today, I was thinking not to do the live streaming because I don't really have a lot I want to say. But I was like, if people come talk to me, it will be great. I can have a conversation. But seems like not many people coming, so okay. I'll see you guys in the next week then. Or if you have any topic, let me know. Thank you so much for your time. Take care. Bye bye.